what I have heard about AI, and maybe you can correct me on that, is there is difference between when we train the model, we assemble the model and we create it, which is the training, and when we use a model, and which calls the inference. So basically, when OpenAI is creating GPT-5, they are training. When you are using GPT-5, you are using the inference. Can you explain like a little bit the difference between the two procedures inside the system, and what's the difference?
Yeah, like roughly speaking, training is essentially an assembly of two phases or two passes. We call it, one we call the forward pass, the other one we call the backward pass. Right? At least not all AI, but bear with me. Training is saying, hey, you are Steve. And or rather, who are you? And you will tell me, I am Steve, and I will tell you, no, you are not. You are Quentin, right? And maybe, after like 10 times I'll tell you you're Quentin, you will say, okay, Quentin is the guy with the suit, and you will try and find, why, what's the difference between what you think is the response and what the response should be, right? Which is, why we say that, or at least I say that, in AI, behavior emerges, right? Because in the end, you try and find, why it's Quentin, the response to the question. And so forward pass is asking you the question, and you're responding. And backward pass is me telling you, let's measure the difference between, let's say, Steve and Quentin, and apply it to the forward pass in reverse, right? And so this is training. So training, we train a model to do a certain thing. That's why, it's a beautiful word, training, right? Inference is when we ask the model to infer a response. So we run only the forward pass. We don't correct it. We don't tell it, what it should be. We just let it, because we think that it has seen enough to infer a response.
Like you have seen a lot of cup in your life. When I give you a cup, it's a cup. You don't need to train to being a cup.
Right? I am GPT-5 level in cups.